Hey guys, just in a 2011 200 series today. Just going to take the steering wheel off. Fairly straightforward job. There's two bits of trim on either side. You pop off with a torque screw in it, that comes out. Then the airbag cover comes off. A few plugs in here you unplug, like one being the airbag. Take the battery off when you do this. It shouldn't be possible to short the detonator for the airbag anyway, but just in case. Pop those off. Then there's a big nut here. Whole wheel comes off and you can replace the whole wheel. The only reason people might want to do this, well, so one, it's handy if these aren't working or displays aren't working, or your cruise control's not working, because that could be the clock spring being the issue. You'll probably pick up a code with a diagnostic tool if that is the issue, so being short. Taking off the wheel, you can replace the clock spring. Other option is when you update the steering wheel, which we're doing today, can be handy to update the steering wheel. One, if your steering wheel is a bit dated, then two, to give yourself steering wheel controls. Pretty good. So basically on each side here, you've got little bits of plastic. And you can just get a trim removal tool into there and pop that off. This one's a bit bent, like so. That just pops off, and in there you can see you've got a torque screw that we're going to undo. And you got the same on the other side here. Same thing here. If you got cruise control, obviously the cruise control is going to be in there, but same deal. Got a little bit of plastic that's going to pop off and slide over your cruise control, and you can see you got a torque screw up in there. So pop those, both like those off, and then take off these two torque screws. So torques in there, undo those. That's a Torx. Oh. So Torx like missing, but the size is Torx 30. Use the right size, because they are done up a little bit tight, and then just take them off on both sides, take them all out. Torx 30 is the size. So take out the one on the left and the one on the right. After those loosened off, they just stay in there. You can pull off this. You can see there, airbag, two plugs here for your controls up here. Fairly straightforward. Push down on the top, and these pull out. Push down the top, this one pulls out. Take these two plugs out, and then your airbag ones just have small clips in them. Clip up that little bit, and that will pop out. So again, handy use of your trim tool to pop out both of those. So that, obviously in there, that's your clock spring. These are your plugs. Here's giving your steering controls. These here, if you can see that, hopefully, have little tabs on them. You need to push under, and they pop up just like that, and then it'll come off. So I hope you saw that. Under that little yellow bit, that pops off, and then these just pop up like that. You can't get them so mixed up. Orange, black, earth comes off there. Just pull that black earth off, and that is your airbag off there. So like 19mm socket in there, pop that off, hold the wheel, obviously while you do it, so you can leave it off. I'll leave it on a bit, and then depending on your wheel, you're gonna have to give a few tugs to get it off. So just put the camera up while I do that, and then we'll get that off. So you can see that's all popped off now, a bit loose. Just grab it with both hands and give it a good reef backwards, a few jiggles. If you need to, bang it from behind with your hand. Some of them come off easier than others, just depends, but a few good tugs on it and it should just release, and if it doesn't, just get behind the wheel of your palm and the bang on both sides a couple of times, and then come back and give it a good pull with your hands. And that's why you leave on this, because you don't want it to fly back into your face. So that's that. Screw the other way off, pull these little bits off. There you go. So if you're going to replace your clock spring, that's the bit you're replacing. A new wheel's just going to slide straight over. Fairly straightforward. Okay, so now we've got to change over the inflator. So on our wheel, to get the horn pad off, you can see in there's these small little clips, just little steel things that are on a spring. You just need to pin those back with a screwdriver. There's 3 of them. Put a little screwdriver through these holes, ping them back, and then what's actually going to happen is the horn pad's going to drop off, and that is how we get the horn pad off, so we can add our extra things for it. You can see the horn pad has come off there. Now, so we've got to just change the inflator over and put it on here. So we'll get our wheels and our airbags engineered and tested and whatnot. Obviously, true law, pretty much anything that isn't factory on cars, that should be put on and then certified by an engineer. Means that's pretty much everything across cars, so I'm not going to get into all that stuff. But basically, we're just going to take this off, 1, 2, 3, 4, and transfer the inflator over to here. Now, so should you worry about doing this? Not really. The clock springs, obviously, in these cars fail, so these have been made to take off. In here, it's called an inflator, or a detonator, whatever you want to call it. It's just a chemical reaction. So basically, what happens is there's sensors on the front of the car or on the side or wherever. If there's an impact, they send a signal to the SRS computer, which is in charge of the airbag stuff, and then it sends a 12 volt message to here, and it says activate. And so
and so this thing will activate a chemical reaction that releases gas really quickly, and then that goes into the airbag, inflates the airbag up, and then it like sort of deflates because the airbag just got holes in it, and so that gas will actually dissipate out of the airbag and sort of goes back down. So that is like basically how it will work. So the chemical reaction creates a gas that expands quickly into here, which like blows us up a bit, and then it comes back down really quickly as well. So we're just going to like take off these 4 and just like lift it straight up and transfer it. So just like make sure like both of them are like, obviously that's the top side, that's the top side. Take this out, so you can see that's all it is. That's where the gas comes out, like those holes there when a reaction happens. So it comes like that, straight over into here, and just pushes down to this one, like so. And then we just need to tighten it up. So like that's all done. The only challenge can be sometimes because it's a fresh like airbag, it hasn't had like the insert like this because it's been pressed in for so long. So like sometimes just get like one nut on, like tighten it like a bit, I get the other one on, and then you can kind of just sort of like press it down. And even like sometimes I would sort of put it on like a nut upside down. I just like to hold the one in place so I get the other one sort of started. And then obviously like tighten them up here, as you like normally like do it, so it comes out like nice and like balanced. It's like metal on metal, so it's gonna stop when it has to stop. And so that's basically the inflator put in there now. Now the thing we should change over is these are all the same anyway. If you're doing like any Toyota wheel, it's going to be the same spline in there, whatever. The only thing that's going to be a bit different on some is like the plugs. If you are installing a different one, depending, because obviously there's your steering wheel controls, cruise controls is normally a little 4-pin one, I'll show you because that's what we're going to change over now. So we've got these 2 screws here. I'll match up for our cruise control, so just unscrew those, we'll swap that over. You can see that little 4-pin plug that only has like 2 in it, that's your cruise control there. So just taking that cruise control out of there, it just slots back in. It's obviously got that home it like goes to. Phillips, put them back in, that's done. So just put it like back on, just temporary. So the only things I want to check here is we just want to check, obviously the cruise control is going to be the same, like we haven't changed anything, they just like sort of move the module over. Then we have an adapter cable in our kit, just puts it down from a 12-pin to a 10-pin. Now obviously we are mainly sell tighten this back up,